Hi, Kathy White, Certified Professional Ergonomist. This is a continuation of a series of videos related to psychosocial factors that interface with your work environment, which can increase the risk of musculoskeletal disorders. As mentioned in previous videos, the physical demands on the body have been studied extensively, but there's not so much on the psychosocial factors, which are really focused around the emotional value that can cause physical or psychological damage to our health. Last video, I talked a bit about work demands and some things you can do as an ergonomic evaluator or even a self-evaluator with regards to hours worked, work rest cycles, workplace culture, and management style. Today, we'll talk a little bit more about another category of psychosocial risk factors around job control. When you get in a situation where you feel like you don't have a lot of control over the work that you're doing and what is happening to you on a daily basis at work, that can impact that psychosocial damage to your health and your well-being, which in turn can increase those physical factors that lead to a musculoskeletal disorder. As an evaluator or a self-evaluator, it's really important to take a moment to understand where somebody's at, where you are at in terms of how you feel you have control over the work that you are doing on a daily basis. Some questions you might want to ask and consider as you go through that evaluation process is, first, are you clear on your role in your work? Do you know what is expected of you and what success looks like for you? Have you received that clarity? Typically, that should be coming from your leadership. If you're not clear, that can lead to a lot of undue stress because you're not sure what you should be prioritizing in your daily work and what you should be focused on. Getting that direction, clear direction, is extremely important to give you some sense of that job control. Another challenge a lot of people run into is conflicting work demands. You have multiple priorities and you're not sure how to juggle those. Kind of going along with what we were just talking about with job clarity. Again, this should be coming from leadership. Help me understand what it is I should be doing first. Or you may be in a situation where you are limited on bandwidth and you simply need to escalate again to leadership and ask, what do I take off of my plate? What do I keep on my plate? Because there are only so many hours in the day. And this can take some courage to have these sorts of conversations, and it's highly dependent on the culture in that work environment as well. Another aspect that can lead to stress is when you feel like you're not involved in decisions that are being made that impact the work that you're doing or the direction that the organization is going in that you don't agree with. Again, this is another cultural aspect, but it's good to ask some questions to get an understanding over whether somebody feels empowered to be able to escalate concerns, if they have a place to be able to have a voice and part of that feedback process that helps people feel like they're a part of something. And then finally, there can be job insecurity. You're not sure from day to day if you have a position or you don't have a position. Again, getting some of that clarity from leadership is very helpful, and you may be in a situation where that simply is not possible. In those cases, there may need to be some acceptance on the part of the individual, just recognition of that lack of control, and just being able to take that energy and try to focus it on the things that are in your control. Maybe even thinking about some backup plans, making sure that financial security can be achieved through other means. But those are some aspects to consider when we start talking about job insecurity. Hopefully this second series of videos on the psychosocial factors is helpful. The next one we'll be talking about is social support at work. Thank you for taking the time to listen.